Well, hello my friends. This will be a video worth seeing. It's a hands-on from beginning to destruction of a piece, a flap-over bowl. Back up a little bit. Well, yesterday I had my friend Thomas Kuzia, who's a subscriber, a YouTube viewer, who came from Connecticut and is visiting the area, or staying for the winter months fairly close by, and he wanted to come and pay me a visit, see my shop, and see my turning. He was here last week, and I did a little turning with him, which I did the majority of the turning. Well, he sent a message saying that he can't wait to get home and do one of my mushroom style bowls. So I opened the invitation that this weekend, which was yesterday, would be a nice day for him to come over, and I would gladly do a tutorial with him, a hands-on, where he would do the work and I would only step in. I probably stepped in a little bit more than I should, but anyway, I think, even though I knew what I was looking for, a lot of character on a piece of wood, I think what I presented to him might have been a little bit too much for a beginner. So the reason why I'm putting up this video with this turning is because I offered a lot of information that might be useful to you on obstacles and areas of difficulty that he was having turning this particular piece. Anyway, it was starting off as a nice piece. We had established the top, and he ran into a little bit of problems once going underneath and undermining it. So it got to a point that, even though this is still salvageable, and I'll probably end up salvaging this because it doesn't matter, you know, these blowaways are still fine, but we discarded this, and I decided to go grab another piece of wood, and I got him a more manageable green wood piece of golden trumpet, and he performed like a champ. On this video, I focus mostly on this turning up to this point, and then I fast forward through the same procedure but on a nicer turning, and like I said, he breezed through it and did a nice job. I'll end up putting this back on the lathe. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do this, complete this for Tom on where it left off, and see what we got. Well, hello my friends. Here I am again with who else? With my good friend Thomas Kuzia, who is going to do the second episode of a Rebel Turner's wood turning with an audience. This time I'm going to be the audience. I'm going to let Tom do the turning. Tom hinted that he wanted to do a mushroom, a mushroom style bowl. So I'll be sitting off to the side and just see if he has any problems, or if he has any questions that maybe will kind of bring it home with you guys. We went out there and found a piece of ficus, and I think it will do the perfect mushroom bowl. So I'm going to let Tom take over, mount it, and see his procedure, and we'll go from there. Alright Tom, that's all yours. So basically I bring it up to the speed, but the speed of course you're monitoring over there, so that's just a speed dial. Run at 530 RPM. Chris, I'm sorry, Tom. I'm going to let you be doing it, but if I see something, you know,
definitely.
advice. when you're doing something that starts off as a cylinder like this, no matter what, it's being treated as a cylinder, and what you're trying to do right now is cutting end grain by scraping, which doesn't work. So if you go from the outside and start doing the shaping from here to there, then it becomes like spindle cutting and not end grain trying to beat it up. So just go over here nice and slowly and start shaping it inwards. Don't go too far down because that's going to be the shape of your piece.
About here?
Yeah, and you can turn it up a little bit. It's nice and easy, and you'll find it's ease points.
I don't know if that cleaned it up any.
I'm sure it did, because I could hear the heel writing quite a bit. Actually, that looks pretty good, Tom. So I think that you're going to end up with a much smaller tenon than this. Then later on, you can always figure out how big of a mouth you want on it, or you know how much of this you're going to let it play. But at this point, I'd probably be working towards creating some sort of a tenon that will be for that size jaw, more or less, which is
With this?
you can still shape it a little bit, but I would probably go in here and start working this front edge and going towards the middle, or already with the tool, my favorite tool to use to make my tent, which is this diamond cutter. And you could literally take it from out here and just start pushing it towards the middle, and you will end up with a tenon, because I'm not a believer that you have to be totally true all the way down. As long as you got your tenon, and if you need to towards the end, you can always knead it up towards the middle a little bit and just leave a little nub in the middle. This is my favorite tool. Just go easy with it because it won't bite. Good.
You can't get that cut you were getting.
You know, that's why people use the body sway and not the arm. They follow the tool with their whole body rather than keeping the body still and just the arm movement, because you don't possibly follow the bevel that way. So follow it with the body. Do a rocking motion with the body. Follow with the body. There you go. You've done it. Nice. Nice and full there. Keep it going all the way in. Sometimes little things like that, you know, that you're not aware of, can make a difference night and day of how you flow. You rock your body, you keep your tool to you, and go the distance that you need with the body on your feet. And just follow it. There you go, you're getting that comfortable right now. Good, Tom. Just pick that up, that lip, you're good. Okay.
That looks a little better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a little rough on this area over here, because to sand this, it's going to be a heck of a trip. So I would see if I could just clean that up a little bit.
And you did that like this?
And, you know, probably might want to do it with this. Do a little bit of a push cut from the way back, but it's the same rule. I would just keep it up a little bit, hitting just this front edge over here slightly, almost at the tip, and just push it through, making sure that you're not too advanced with just the tip, that you are almost riding the back of the... right. So I would do that, and that's probably a better tool to get that cleaned up. But the idea is the same. Ride your body with it. Once you find that little bit of that little cut, nice control, very nice.
I don't think that cleaned it up.
You did.
Cleaned it up a little
Yeah,
bit. Huh?
yeah, you did. You did good. And you maintained it pretty good. You got a little bit of a ridging here because you were a little tense and the bouncing, but you could eliminate that completely. You're starting off, so when you are starting off way back here, which is fine, just make sure that you maintain it going where you don't have this lump over here. So just go back over here until you just start feeling it, and then just clean up this area over here. I wouldn't even go all the way down to there. I would just clean up this hump that you got between here and there. And you can do that with an upright a little bit better, slightly. There you go. Feel it, don't push. Don't push, let it ride. That's about it, right there. That's the area that you were looking at. And a lot of times, if you're looking up at the top, you can see what's happening a little bit better. So you probably just need to feather down a little bit from there. You're good. Barely touching there. Barely touching. I think you're good, Tom.
Yeah, I took that out.
Okay.
Doesn't make any difference, right?
It doesn't make any difference. At this point, I probably would flip it over because I always feel better if it's inside the jaws.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's a safe method, but this is definitely, to me, a better method.
Better method.
Right.
Now, how far back? This way.
You just do not want to interrupt this cut. So I would concentrate on being about an inch back from your furthest down, which is this one right here. That's going to be your deepest swing. So don't worry about anything going on over here. You're just going to make this into somewhat of a cylinder at this point. And then you'll be working from underneath, undermining the wings and finalizing and giving it the inner shape of whatever you're going to do over there. Okay. So you can use that. You can use the square cutter, which I thought I just put it over here, but either way.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. This works out really beautiful, nice and easy. It's kind of an easy tool. And no matter which method you decide to go with, it will be fine. But like anything else, nice and easy. Easy does. Easy does it. You'll have time to get up there, Tom.
Pardon me?
You'll have time to get up there, so work towards the bottom and see where you are so you don't sneak up and all of a sudden you don't have that wing left. Nice and easy, all the way down. Okay, so why don't you make a tenon, Tom, for 3-inch, these 3-inch jaws? So you're going to make an oversized tenon for this, because so it can grip this piece good at the end when you're hollowing it up.
You want this 3 inches, right?
Yeah, roughly 3 inches for that tenon. Right there. And you're gonna make those deep, because those are deep jaws.
Maybe deeper.
Yeah, yeah. 3/4 of an inch or so.
Is that angle all right?
Yeah, let's just verify the measurement, see if you're gonna be okay, not gonna force the jaws too far open. This is the time that you would also consider how long, how tall of the piece is going to be. Generally, I maintain the height that the width of the overall piece I have is roughly the height of the piece. So we're a little bit over on that, but it won't affect you any, or you can round this over a little bit more, right? So at this point, I would go in here, probably would not keep on going with this square scraper. I would already start working this and start kind of working my way, starting concaving and removing a lot of this bulk that's over here without really worrying about this foot yet. This foot can always be established at any time when you already have somewhat of a concave in there, whatever shape you're going with, and you already have something going on in there, and you can decide at what point, because you're going in there from out here, let's say, okay? So you're starting to sneak your way in over here and down and making the shape towards the foot. There you go, a good angle. Right there, that's a good cut. You can almost hear the difference on a good cut. Good. Just go over there. There you go. Make that cut without that pump, you're doing good. You're not getting that pump, it means you're slightly off and being a little bit aggressive. There you go. There you go. Good. Bring it the way you need it to be. Good. Good cut. Good cut. Nice and easy. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Perfect approach there. Now if you look at what you just did, you're going to see a night and day difference from what I just showed you on the cuts on that, where you're fairly clean right now. You can tell because you're really not fighting it as much, and the cut is coming up just smooth. You can hear the smooth cut versus the and the rattle of the tool. You've done some nice approaches over there. Keep in mind that you got wings, you don't need your fingers all the way up there. Hold your tool back here, and the control is the same. Don't rely on the tool rest as your guide for your hand. Not with this type of turn. That's good, Tom. Now, this piece that you're doing is far from being an easier piece because this is very spalted wood, very dry. It's not hardwood to cut, but the spalting is not your friend on this. And you're not going to get no curls on this. So you're doing good. It's an awesome practice piece, and you're going to find that the end results are going to be rewarding for you.
I hope so.
You think I steer you wrong?
No, I steer me wrong.
Now, the one thing that you want to start keeping in mind, Tom, with that car, you can shut it down for a minute. The one thing you want to start keeping in mind is how far are you going to be going in this part of it, because at some time that's either the bowl
part of it.
Of it. Right. So if you keep on going like that, you're going to end up with nothing in the center. So you have to focus your attention, see how far up you're going to go on these areas, how much deeper you're going to go towards the inside, and be shaping that like it's an inside part of some sort of a bowl or box, and work the rest is within the foot coming up to whatever shape you got going on over there. If you follow me.
Yeah, I understand.
So I would bring it up, bring it from the outside a little bit closer to where you're going to end up being, and start creating that inner part as a down curve towards the foot. So it creates
a bowl inside.
This type of a shape.
Right.
Okay, so whether if you do this over here, it doesn't matter. But at some point, you're following up very thin on this, pretty much to the profile that's going on over here. And when you get to a certain point, you literally have to start curving it opposite. And you'll see where that is. I can't tell you where that is. That's what the wood is telling you, and how much of it's a. So the wood is determining the shape of this piece. All you got to do is follow up and see how deep of a piece it's going to be. Nice and easy. You'll go in there nice and easy with that slight approach, maybe 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock type approach, where you're getting a good contact over here, but not over. I wouldn't go like that. I would just do a little bit of a contact, and again, you can see where this.
You're going to start pushing in.
Yeah, and go until you get to a certain point, and then start backing it up and creating a round part over here. You can go a little bit deep if you need to go over here, and then you get to a certain point, you start rounding it up back towards the outside wings till you establish where you need it to be. At the bottom part of the wing, there you go. Nice and easy. Always make sure that part of the wing is making contact.
This wing now?
Well, yeah, on this case you're on the inner part, so that's just making a little bit of contact. Not too much, Tom. We're gonna scrap this one.
All right.
Okay. We're gonna start with a piece that's a little greener and a little bit easier for you to turn, and we're gonna continue with another
All right.
rainbow. Okay. So we're gonna scrap this one because it is punky. It's not as easy as it should be. I probably could make it work, but you know, we're not here to do that. We're here to give you some practice and get you to turn one of these. We're going to start off also with the proportion that I said to make. So this is the base from the piece that Tom turned yesterday, which was the golden trumpet mushroom style bowl. And like I said, he did an awesome job. Was that one? I like this. This is a cheap, inexpensive chuck, probably under $100, Nova, and it does an awesome job. I like the fact of hand tightening and not having to use the key for every step of the way on it. So, put the live center in, put it in between centers, and gonna go in there right off the bat. Let me back up the tailstock a little bit. Always give yourself a little bit of room if you have it. Set my tool rest fairly close. So basically, I'm gonna clean this up and start throwing this up, see how far down I'm gonna go with all of this, what's going to stay, and start forming this. And the base is basically going to go from here on up. All this will be waste material. Started off with my Carter & Son bowl gouge and go in there and start shaping this up. Okay, I'm going to make a tenon right over here, smaller tenon, and part this off because I don't need this part down here. And I'll use the small tenon as well. I'll be applying some Yorkshire grit and finishing it up with the OB Shine Juice. Apply a couple of lacs of probably lacquer on this. It's time to turn it around and hollow out the inside. Now I can either keep doing that or go in there with a drill bit real quick and give myself an opening from the center so I don't blow that out. Still got my point over there where I was originally set up. Screw. And can do this with several tools. Can go with a parting tool, can go with a skew. Generally what I do is I go at the very end with the skew, but for now I will use maybe even my diamond tool, which also cuts really well, and it will follow up the same shape until I get close to the bottom. At first when I'm going, I don't have a problem if the lathe is going around 1000 RPMs or so. Then I'll slow it down at the bottom. This is the time that if you want to do also any decorations on the bottom, this is when you do it. A couple of lines or something like that. Give yourself as much of a finish as possible so you're not doing it afterwards. So my favorite tool to detail the bottom is my parting tool actually. And I go with just the corner edge. Give myself a couple of lines there, that's fine, and then the last line will be the line that's created by the separation of the parting tool at this point. Slow it down. And when you cut all the way through, just keep your tool in there. Keep your tool in there, and the piece stays on center, and it's separated. And here it is, bottom rubble turner, and here's the finished piece. Well, this was not an easy piece to give somebody who wanted to get their hands on a piece, even with an instructor, even with somebody like me who's done these several times. To me, this kind of falls in fairly easy without complication on the tool approach. To a newcomer who's not really 100% sure of how the tool is going to react when you make contact with the wood, it could be a little bit intimidating, and it will take some time. So I say practice with simple pieces without all these wings, getting the feel of your tool going underneath, and then as you progress on that and you know what's happening with the tool every time you approach your wood, then you go and you start venturing out, unless you have some supervision, some guidance right alongside of you while you're doing that, showing you the ropes, I guess, so to speak. But anyway, it's a small droop over mushroom style bowl. The wood is ficus, and it's been cut a couple of years, been in the yard, so it had a little time to do a little bit of spalting. It's not the best spalting I have come across. I actually expected a little bit better than this, but nevertheless, pretty piece, and you know, you see right through the inside on this valley right here, and that's part of its beauty. Thanks again. We'll see you very soon.